Welcome to part two, Max. What do you think to Lewis Ritson against Tawara Davis, Max? Max,
Yep.
what do you think to Ritson against Davis?
It's a good fight. It's competitive, isn't it?
Yeah,
But what you're finding out now is that we're getting starved through all different promotional outfits. We're getting starved from just good fights. That should be a standard domestic good dust up. Like in theory, when we talk about Liam Smith and Chris Eubank, again, a dust up. But we're getting starved that much of these different fighters or different fights that these look better than they seem. Does that make sense?
yeah.
And it's a shame because we're not getting look, this Fury and Usyk thing's carrying on. We're not getting the fights that we want to make. You know, Joe Joyce is fighting Zhang. Okay, then again, that's a good fight. Um, but it's not pay per view. I wouldn't say it's pay per view. Would you say Zhang and Joe Joyce is pay per view? Really, I don't think so. But but this is what we're getting. We're getting starved with a watered down service by Boxer, DAZN, certainly by the DAZN. It's going that downhill. Although I'll be watching Lee Wood this weekend get run over. Um, you know, I hope he gets run over by Lara. It's not just because I dislike Lee Wood. I just don't like Ben Davidson. So,
Oh,
you know.
he's a nice kid, Lee Wood.
Yeah, I like Lee Wood. Yeah, I like, but I want to see him in theory. It's bad that I want to see him lose for the sake of Ben Davidson. Is carry on, and Lee Wood will see the light and leave him. Um, and you realise after that fight against Lara, because Lara, let's be honest, he just walks through you. He's that type of fighter that just walks through punches. David Avanesian type. So I don't know what Ben Davidson's going to do to like beat Lara. I'm sorry, I don't know what he's got in his repertoire to beat Lara personally, but we'll see.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Well, I wish Lewis Ritson all the best against Tawara Davis, but I think it's 50-50 fight, me.
Lewis Rips. Where is it? Where's it? Is it in Newcastle?
It's at, I think it's Manchester, is it? No, Newcastle. Yeah, Forest Hall, Tyne Wear.
So he's got a good crowd. They love him up there. They don't they. So Lewis Richardson's loved up there. So he's going to get a good crowd behind him. So that's going to be the one thing. He's been on a received on a bad a few losses, Lewis Richardson. So he's going to want to get that record straight, or try to, and that would be a good win for him if he gets that.
Oh yeah, tell me about it, mate. Be a proper win, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. And he's going to be buzzing. So if he's putting the hard work in, he's doing what he needs to do. It depends the desire and hunger is because when you had so many losses, you see with these fighters, and you probably saw this an element this to Joseph Parker when you've got beaten like he did against Joe Joyce. It takes something out of you a loss like that, and he's had one or two losses like that, Ritson. So you wonder what more he's got because it puts all of a sudden absolute miles on your clock. So, and it's a question how much more has he got to give against a very skillful fighter in Davis. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. Bob Arum, will he ever jog on?
Do you know what? I do a Deadpool each year. Him and Don King is in my Deadpool this year.
What does that mean? Do we want dead?
No. So me and my seven mates, we put 15 quid in each in for Deadpool. We pick five people out of the celebrity world who are going to die, right? Then I know this is evil, but then whoever gets there first out of the six we pick wins the whole money we put in. So Bob Aaron and Don King's in my bucket list of not my bucket list, in my Deadpool list, the six. So don't be surprised if he does peg it this year. No offense to Bob. Hope you deliver well, mate. But
where do you see Tunde Ajayi going now, Max? Do you see him retiring, or do you see? Sorry, Anthony Yard, do you see him retiring or do you see him carrying on with Tunde?
Well, I know I got a lot of stick for this last time we spoke about Yard, and I got some unnecessary stick. I thought Yard had more to give in that fight. I didn't think he was fully gone like you lot say he is. I'd still stand by that comment. But my argument with the Tunde thing, him throwing the towel in, obviously, and I'm recapping. We didn't see what the corner saw. You always see a different perspective up close. And Tunde was obviously looking after his fight. And Tunde's got Anthony Yard. Is that where Yard is? Would you say he's British level Yard? Yes. Would you? Would you say he is?
Yeah.
So
Yard's above British level. He's above European level, isn't he? But he's below Beterbiev level, isn't he? Kind of thing.
Yeah. So you take Beterbiev out of it, right? M.A. Kolev, he's on that European fringe world, so he's in that sort of market there, isn't he? So how much better would he get without Tunde? I don't think he'll get much better. So you might as well stay with Tunde because he gave Berbsev so many problems in that fight. He was walking onto shots, and it's just because he's hard as nails. Berbsev, you know what I mean? He's that, he's hard as nails. So to be honest with you, with Yard, I don't want to see him leave because I think he's doing the right things, Tunde, with him personally. But why is it when something works and we're talking about only small tweaks? Because let's be honest, let's have it right, Ross. He was in that fight Yard. There was elements in that like fight. You think, hell, Yard could pull this off, you know? You get what I'm saying? You did think, what if it wasn't always a landslide? It wasn't like what we call a butchering, was it? Or would you disagree?
I thought Yard were in the fight, but I always thought that you could see that Yard were fighting out of his skin to stay with Beterbiev, and you always felt that Beterbiev could just knock it up a touch at any level, didn't you? I did anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with you on that. But the thing is that even that he was fighting out of skin. It's just as the rounds were going on, he was diminishing a little bit. But Yard was times in that fight you think he had his moments. So you got to question that he can be up there. But let's be honest, Berbsev he's that special fighter where we won't probably have or see him, someone like him in like another generation. You get what I'm saying? So you got to argue Yard is up there, and I don't want no. And the answer to your question, no, I do not want to see him leave Tunde because they're doing the right things in my opinion.
Yeah, Derek James, the trainer of Joshua, saying that they'd be up for fighting Usyk a third time. While it remains unlikely a third showdown against Usyk will happen this year, James admittedly watched a bit of Joshua's close defeat, saying he thinks that Joshua can beat him. Jesus, they hope to get a job, won't they? Have you noticed how that a lot of these trainers, right? I mean, what trainers out there haven't brassed themselves off in the last 12 months? All you licensed older trainers out there, some of my mates, some aren't. Look in the mirror, man in the mirror moment. Are you brassing yourselves off for a few quid, yes or no? I say yes. That's it. I'm not bothered. I'll stand on what I say. Brassing themselves off. They know my opinion on that misfit stuff, don't they? They took Ryan Rowlandson's license off him for that, you know.
Did they?
Yeah, Ryan Rowlandson lost his license for going in a corner on a white collar. So is Calla going to lose this for promoting it?
This is what I mean. This is what it goes back to my same sort of thing before: integrity and consistency. Consistency, board and control. Oh, well, it's not just Calla, it's Mark Tibbs. Mark Tibbs is in the corner for Ellie Brooke.
Well, it's up to the board down there to act like they do over here. This area council up here. Well, we know what they are, don't we? The weapons, aren't they? Human weapons. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, Eddie's just come out and said Joshua Franklin's a real fight. And Franklin's in better shape than Joshua. Oh my God. What are they doing to themselves? My Trish Dixon. Oh my God. Trish Dixon, boxingscene.com. He's allowing Eddie Hearn to come out with that, but don't fire back on him. Dare you, Trisha? You little roid head. Do you know what I mean? Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. Brassers. Even media are brassing themselves off now. I always had Trish Dixon down as a bit of a boxing man. But he ain't. He's just a company man, and he says all right things. He don't want to go against the grain. This is why boxing's in the mess it's in, because everybody in it's allowing all this to happen for money. There's no integrity from top to bottom. It's a free for all. It's like watching a load of junkies squabbling over a team for smack. You know what I mean? In that film Layer Cake, where he's got them junkies sat on settee, he's got baseball bats to their head, and he throws 500 quid out in air to them all. Then you've seen them all over it up.
Yeah,
That's this lot. That's this lot, mate. And they've allowed it all to happen. And do you know what? If Jake Paul gets a win over Tommy by hook or crook, he's beat one boxer in his career. That'll be Tommy, and he's only an 8-fight novice. But does that warrant a top 15 world ranking with WBC? What some people like Carl Froch took 6 years to get, 5-6 years. How bad is that?
it's not good, is it? I mean, let's be honest. But this is what we are. We must be. Can you see America? Like, you know, the WBC or whoever, the promoters over there, let's say Bob Arum, Golden Boy. I mean, they got probably a few more outfits. They got probably 5 top outfits. You got Prime Time or whoever, Showtime. Sorry, you got all these different outfits. Can you see all this crap carrying off like it is over here with us?
Yeah.
As grubby.
Can't, mate.
Exactly, and because there's like a line where it stops with all of them. Yeah, yes, corruption happens, etc. But there's a line where it all stops over there, even with Dom King. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's getting to a stage where they're all dobbing on each other. I mean, Eddie Hearn's got that Trisha. It's got to create a narrative for Franklin, because Franklin, you know, look, who's he got left? Who's he got left under his stable? Who's got to earn him the dough? Well, Conor Benn's off, right? Canelo's not proper is. White's a free agent, clearly, right? And Joshua is still the golden goose at the minute, who's potentially going to earn him anything real or substantial. So he's got to create a narrative, because I'll tell you now, and I'm going to predict this, they're going to try and wipe out Franklin, aren't they? You know, like maybe round 4, round 5. He's going to box on the outside, because Jermaine Franklin is maybe I'm going to say a poorer version of Andy Ruiz. He's got fast hands. Okay, you get up close, you're going to get swiped. So they're going to go revert back, and Derek James is going to make him revert back with what he knows, the Olympic sort of style, what he did in Andy Ruiz's second fight. Okay, he's going to get a points win. If he gets a good stoppage against Jermaine Franklin, I don't think he will. But if he does, you know, that's when Dillian Whyte will be called out there and then, if he wins in style. And that narrative will be created. Oh, you couldn't beat him, satisfy finally like me, Dillian. So, and that's going to create the beef. Those two will get it on. Joshua will win. And that's when they're going to go for something bigger.
You reckon, yeah?
That could be the narrative where they're going to go. Because look, with Eddie, it's always a story lined up, isn't there? There's always a potential 1 or 2 stories. That's, you know, he creates another story behind after the fight, and it's a script. As you know, it's always scripted with him. So he's making out Franklin. Oh, this is going to be Rocky Road. We all know Franklin beat Dillian Whyte. That's a fact. He beat him by.
Beat him easily, I felt.
I thought it was probably 8.
Terry don't agree with me, but Terry lives down there, doesn't he? He's got to bump into Dean White at shows. I don't have to. 'Cause if I see Dean White, I just do a runner.
He towers over me, mate. Ah,
See
but
Dean White, mate. I'm burning rubber, mate. Straight from the shooter.
straight for the shooter.
You
But the
wouldn't
point
take
is,
an elephant gun to take him down, wouldn't you? He's massive, isn't he?
yeah. But the point is that you know, I said a few words that even at that show to Dean that he didn't like. You know what I mean? But we were on terms. I think he admired my ballsiness. But you can't do anything at a fucking boxing show. What's he going to do? That's how I look at it.
Mark, you should have just stuck it straight on him and said, "Listen,
No,
let's
no,
get it
that's
on."
it's not the done thing. And you know what? You got to let sleeping dogs lie. And to be honest, he's not a bad. Look, he's doing well what he's doing, isn't he? With this black box stuff.
Them shows he's putting on the Pro Field Quidditch match that I've heard. Dennis was telling me.
Well, I know two boxers are on him, and one of them said the day before, already paid him. Already paid him. Didn't pay him on the day. Paid him the day before. Put
Yeah,
the money up.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's that, isn't it?
And you know everyone gets paid. Everyone at the table gets paid. So I think fair play to Dean because he's doing more than what most boxing promoters don't do. So he's trying to put himself out there. So you got to say good luck to him. And
Well, good luck to him, Max. But crawl out in his arsehole. Let's get back to the business at hand here. Abel Sanchez says that Furman's an easy fight for Spence. Oh, so Abel Sanchez does not view Furman as an easy fight for Spence. I think it's easy all day for Errol Spence, that deal.
Yeah, I mean, Thurman's what's he got? He's old Thurman now. I mean, he's got to be on the sly, Thurman, don't you think? And he's been inactive. He hasn't been exactly active. So, and let's be honest, like we just want to see the fight of the year, don't we? We want to see Spence v Crawford. That's all we want to see now. Them two.
Yeah.
We don't want to see anything else.
Yeah. What do you think? Go on, Max. Sorry.
So yeah, but that fight has to happen. We need these fights to really lost the boxing because people are turning off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what do you think about all this hype around Dalton Smith?
Well, I think he's a good fighter. I mean, you know, what is he now? And trying to think, I'm going to look on BoxRec. But you know, he's not crap, is he? He's getting there, and he deserves a big fight now, surely. You know what I mean? I think he's 12-0, 13-0, can't remember. But the fact of the matter is I think he's the one that needs to fight a little bit more, personally. But they're at that stage where 13-0, 13-0 he is there. He's a local lad to you. He's got to have a big fight now. He's got to be in a real big dust up and fight now. That's where he's at, isn't he?
Yeah, it's all a bit madness, isn't it? What do you think to Devonta Davis then? He's pleaded guilty to a load of driving offences and he's going to be sentenced on May 5th to Porridge. What do you reckon? Smashed his Lamborghini into a Toyota.
It's like the bloody when Mike Tyson was having off out the ring trouble. You know what I mean? If you find with boxers, you'll find this a lot, and you will know this a lot, Russ. Yeah, we see this with the Kell Brook situation. You know, when there's nothing, when they've got boxing as all their life is, right? I'm quite fortunate that way, but boxing will always be a side commodity to me, right? You know, I've got a full-time job, etc. I've got routine and structure in my life. So without boxing, I can survive. But some of these people, if they don't have a fight at their hands, so like Devonta Davis, people like Kell Brook, when they haven't got any structure or anything to build up, and and bear in mind, Kell Brook was in Amir Khan fight, which it got a lot of attention. It was in the limelight of winning, you know, and that limelight goes. You can imagine someone like Kell Brook feels like, oh, I'm just not a sideshow. Then you get someone like for example, Tyson Fury, again, he's had off out the ring issues. They've got to be in the media constantly. They've got to keep up their, their sort of image. They've got to be in there all the time. You see him do it all the time. Now, with Kell Brook and Davis, when they haven't got fights lined up, they start doing these naughty things out of it. Their mind wanders down naughty avenues. And can you blame them? Yeah, it's frowned up on, but can you blame them? It's just a fill a void, isn't it? End of the day. So,
yeah, it is. Yeah. What do you think of Gervonta Davis against Garcia? 28-0 against 23-0.
it's a good fight. It's a very good fight. I've always liked Garcia because I liked him. I wanted Luke Campbell to beat him, but when they fought Luke Campbell dropped him, and I thought, right, we'll see if this kid's a Instagrammer or just a normal YouTube sort of fight boxer. And you saw the real Ryan Garcia, you saw what he could do, and I thought, you know what, that kid's going places. I think it's a very good fight, Russ, and it's something a fight. I'm sorry, would be pay per view, and I'd be willing to pay all day long for.
You reckon?
Yeah. No, well, don't you think that's a pay per view fight any day? Any day.
Oh, what? Davis and Garcia?
Yeah, it's a pay per view fight.
It's pay per view in America. Yeah, it's not going to be over here though, is it?
Yeah, I know, but you would pay that all day long. So I would love to see it.
Does Billy Joe Saunders come back, Max?
Been saying if it's for the right fight, etc. Who would you want to see him fight, Russ?
I'd like to see him fight Mark Efron. Why not?
I'm not being
2 year out at ring, fat as a pig, inactive. Mark Efron's top of his game, British and Commonwealth champion, and world rank. So why not? Why not have that fight and win and go for a world title?
I think Mark Efron dusts him.
Well, I think he does. Because Billy's multi-skilled and got more skills probably than Mark, but Mark's fitter, punches harder, and he's not inactive, is he? At the same age, I think it's a good fight, mate.
I'm not being funny. Even when these fighters at Joe G's gym doesn't have a fight, they're always working. They have to do a certain amount of level of work all the time. And let's be honest, it's only so much. Like, I mean, I don't know what weight Biddy is, but he must be, I don't know, what do you reckon, 16 stone?
15, 16, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got to lose at least, quite a few stones, so to even get near to that weight. So it's not good for your organs. And now he's on the wrong age of 30 now. It's going to be hard for him to get that off. So Efron does him, I think. I'd love to see that, actually. That's not a bad shout, Russ.
Would you like to see John Ryder against Billy again?
No.
No.
Why would you want to see that?
Eh?
Why would you want to see that now? I've seen it. It's been and done. I want to see something we haven't seen before. Something new.
Yeah. No, I don't know, mate. But like I said, I thought you might be interested in seeing Billy Joe against John Ryder again. I thought that was a good fight first time, you see, because there were two southpaws going at it, and they were not really in it.
But what we're finding is John Ryder's coming down the hill now, as well, isn't he?
I don't think he's coming down hill, mate. I think John Ryder's in better nick than Billy.
Yeah, no. I agree with that. I agree with that all day long. But as in boxing terms, John Ryder's not top of the tree, is he? He's coming down, isn't he? So
I don't know. He's fighting Canelo next if they get it over the line. He's in mix, isn't he? If that's coming down, I mean, I'd like to get to where he is. If that's what he's coming down from, he's fighting Canelo Alvarez for world title, Max. You don't get any higher than that, does it?
Yeah, because the promoter's making a look. That's who's going to win that then? Because John Ryder don't have a chance, does he? Let's be honest. He's getting ironed out.
I know.
Well, I think so. I don't think he lasts 5 rounds, personally.
Hey, Eddie Hearn's just put a news bulletin out. Starting from tomorrow, join me and the Matchroom team for a 5 kilometer jog in the morning in Nottingham before the big fight. Up and running. Let's all meet at 6 Exchange Arcade, Nottingham, NG1 2DD. Edward John Hearn. Saturday 10 a.m. Eddie's gonna go for a jog with you all, 5 kilometers. Go on, Eddie. Marathon runner Eddie, singer, boxing promoter, model, darts man, you name it, he's done it. Boxer, the lot, in a footballer. Eddie's a man of mystery, isn't he? Like Austin Powers.
Eddie Hearn. Look, you got to admire Eddie Hearn's like positive outlook, but it's what you said with Julian the other day. I think it was Julian you said it. He's that, what do you want to call it? Public school boy. Tries to sort of belittles you in when the first time he meets you. And notice, I know I've got to be careful what I say. The environment I work in now, I've noticed if someone can't sort of matches you physically, they obviously try to mentally beat you. And I've noticed in this environment, the education environment I work in, that's what some people do. And it strikes me that because Eddie Hearn sort of makes a joke, tries to sort of, and it's sort of a jive, and it's sort of bullying, and when he's doing these jogs and that, it's just trying to be part of the Iceman, the pretense. You know what I'm saying? It's all a big front with him, isn't it? He's not doing it just to be fit, is he? Really, Eddie? Let's be honest.
No, he's just doing it to get out there, isn't he? Try and get a few more seats on bums. That's all.
Yeah,
What any good promoter would do, really, Eddie. He's tried everything, hasn't he? Look, boxing's ending for dark times. For the last few years, anybody who's been working with a boxing promoter will be in an office looking at graphs, and they'll be showing that the shows are losing money every single show, and it's been going down and down and down and down for a while.
Yeah.
And these people, these YouTubers, have seen that, and that's why they've moved in. And boxing is there for the taking. Now, well, it's already been took, hasn't it?
I'd like to know what Misfits made on the last one. I'd like to know, sort of like Misfits, what they make, and let's get a prestigious fight like, I don't know, even maybe someone like, I don't know, like a paper, or even like Liam Smith v Chris Eubank. See what that earned and compare the two. I'd like to know the figures. You know,
Yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it, Max?
but because the thing is what do these men? What are these kids really buying into? They're buying into two idiots. Let's be honest. You're grabbing up outside Weatherspoons at 12:30 at night. Oh, let's have a dust up in the ring. You know, a couple of Saturdays time if you want, and that's all it is. You know, I can see why they're doing the market, and I can see why they're putting food on the table. And I know we dig out, like I said, Mark Tibbs, we have done, but if you're Mark Tibbs and you need to put food on the table, and Dillian White's left your gym, who do you turn to? You know, yeah, you got Johnny Fisher, you got Tommy Fletcher in.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but you got Ebony Bridges in, and like you know, she's come from that sort of way into the mix. You know, and we say that like the things we say, but at the end of the day, he's got to pay his bills.
What do we say, Max? That Mark Tibbs is running a brothel?
I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to say.
I tell him every day in text messages. He just sends me an LOL back. I say, here, listen to this. Right.
Right.
Watch this now. Let's have a bit of a crack with Tibbo. Tibbo's a geezer, and he'll have a laugh with him, man. He takes it on chin. He knows what it is. He's been around it all his life. You know what I mean? Hang a minute. Hey, Tibbo, I'm just sat with Max here on Porky's Corner. Are you still running that brothel down there in Essex, mate? Let me know, mate. Cheers, pal. I might be able to send you some bits and bobs down.
He actually voice started him that.
He's all right, man. Listen, mate. End of the day, he's got to put steam on the table. He's got a young lad, hasn't he?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So all these trolls that are criticising, even I've criticised.
I have. At least I tell him though.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no. Fair play. But what I'm trying to say is, Russ, if I was in his position, I would be doing the same thing.
Max, you already are, mate. You're a professional boxer, but you can't box eggs.
The
That's
point
the
is,
bottom line, Max. I'm just being honest. I don't want you to get hurt. It's the hurt business. But you're ex-rugby league player, and you think because you've been in a few scrums and got muddy, that doesn't mean that you can make it as a boxer. You
if
think,
you knew anything about rugby league, you know they wouldn't have scrums. Even Terry would tell you that.
don't they? Well, what do they have then?
They have scrums.
Oh, it's that where they get ball and they flick it behind the leg, don't they, or something?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's league. Yeah.
Them scrums are people like Big Bill Bowman, aren't they, and all that.
Yeah. People like that. Yeah.
Yeah, scrums always looks like it's a slower pace to me than rugby league.
The people out there. So you've got rugby union consists of 15 players. You've got rugby league consists of 13 players. Rugby league, you don't have scrums. In rugby union, you do, and lineouts.
Yeah,
You've got players at 25, 26 stone in rugby union. Rugby league, the heaviest player you would have is probably up to 18 stone, right? And because they can't handle the pace, because it's
yeah,
such a fast pace, you've got to hit the lines, you've got to hit your wedges, you've got to hit your, different runs. If you don't hit those runs and you don't even block for someone in a play, you can easily piss up that whole play. So so that's the difference between rugby league and union. They probably don't get as paid as much as rugby union. I mean, because rugby union is known as like a gentleman's sport, always the Six Nations, but rugby league is more democratically northern, based north. So this neck of the woods upwards. Um, so yeah, I mean, but no, going back to yeah, I'm very shallow at boxing, but there's plenty of worse people than me who've got licenses, and who are boxing on even Sky.
yeah.
So
Well, cheers for rugby breakdown, Jonathan Edwards. But I'm just saying, Max, you think because you played rugby and you're tough, that boxing will be all right. It don't work like that. You know that, don't you?
yeah, I do know that, and I've got my eyes fully open. I've got good advice from Julian. I'm in the best hands, and he generally cares about me.
Yeah,
That's why before even taking up or even doing this bit with Dennis, I said Julian's in my corner, no one else. End of.
yeah,
That was the
Max.
talk.
It's all right saying that and talking tough about what you're going to do, Max. You were saying this a year ago.
But unfortunately, the difference is a year ago, well, less than a year ago, we have out the ring problems, don't we?
Yeah, well,
So
we don't now, do we? So
we don't have no, we don't have no,
but
but we,
Max, listen to me. For a year or 9 months, Julian said, Max, send me some videos of you training. He sent you exercises. You didn't send in the videos. Is that true, Max?
some of it, yeah, some of
Some
it,
of
yeah.
it, Max. Yeah, because you were sat at home with a pizza.
Pizza, shut up. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Look, problem is, Russ, and this is your problem, and we're going to get to the crux. You expect things done flicker switch, right? Things take time. Things take time.
Why did you have to beat your way off at pizzas, Max?
No, but things take time. And, you need a little bit of patience, a little bit of, know-how, doing things right. You can't just starve yourself, you know. Um, and that's the thing, Russ,
What have you cut
And
out then, Max? Have you cut all junk out now?
yeah, yeah, I'm just trying to 2 times a day at the minute. The 2 hours a day I do, morning and night at the minute. 3 times, and I'm just doing it gradually going up. You start flogging yourself in the first weeks of training, you end up just burning out. So you've got to go up a curve. So I'm doing it gradually. Set myself up with sparring. As soon as I'm back from Malta, I'm sparring with Matt Legg and a lad called Paul Butland. So that's the first protocol. And thanks for you, and I'll give you full applause for this. I'll be sparring with the week after that. I think it's the second week in March with Rollo's heavyweight rugby player.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Is that Joe? Yeah, Joe.
oh,
He's
yeah.
fought, I think.
Did you ring him?
He's fought-
I sent
yeah,
you his number to ring him.
he's fighting Lee Frotch, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so there's an ongoing thing with that. So, but he's a southpaw, which would suit me again because my head gets scrambled with southpaws, and all my last opponents seem to be effing southpaws. Getting a bit tired of it, to be honest. So.
I'll get you a fight with Lee Frotch if you want, Max. For he's European champion, isn't he, Lee, at white collar?
No, you're all right. No, I'll leave that.
Why?
Leave that there. No, no, I'll leave this Joe Hurt lad, who's Rollo's lad, beat him up.
Why do you reckon Rolo's lad will beat Lee?
Yeah,
Do you?
yeah. What I've seen of him on Instagram. Yeah, I think he would. Yeah.
When's that fight?
Oh, I don't know when it is. I think it's. I believe it's June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right then. Well, listen, Max, it's been a pleasure you coming on. I hope you're well.
Yeah.
All the best. Have a good weekend, Max.
Yes, I will be.
And I will speak to you later.
Yes, and give my regards to your mum and dad, and give my regards to Gary, mate.
I will. All right.
All right, mate. Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Right. Bye, bye.
Bye.
Well, that one, Max, aka the very hungry hippo. He's all right, Max. He's a loyal, good lad. He's not a boxer. He's an ex-rugby league player. He used to play for Hull, professional, I think. So, but he's got to be given credit. He's getting in there, and he's hoping to get a win. So, good luck to Maxi, Austin Maxi, 1750. Big shout out, welcome Estates, Spartan Demolition. Everybody have a good weekend. Peace. You've had now 48 videos in 17 days. Too nice, Anna. Booyaka!